Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over the games that happened, the games that I watched over the course of this weekend. As we all know, the league season has just begun, and I am so excited to go over with the games that I was able to watch over this past weekend. So, let's just go ahead and start with the United versus Fulham game, which was the first game of the Premier League season that happened this Friday. United looked very solid, extremely solid this start of the season. They looked very strong. Masarawi started playing. He was actually a very good right back for them. He played very well this game. Fulham really didn't have any chances against Onana. They had a couple, but it wasn't anything crazy. Defensively, United was very strong. Casemiro had a hell of a game. Not only him, but just the whole back line just had a really solid game. As I said, Maserati first game with the shirt, and he played really well. Now, where it is getting worrisome is the attack, okay? Because the Manchester United did win, but they won 1-0 when they could have easily won 2-3-0 without a doubt. Fulham was not proposing anything. Manchester United was just playing around them. Leno even gave pretty much Casemiro a goal, but Bruno Fernandes could not capitalize on that opportunity. And that's going to be a common thing around this game because Bruno Fernandes had like I'm not kidding, three open goal shots where he could have easily scored. One where he tried doing the Travella, gave it straight to Bert Leno, which was that Casemiro, where Leno gave the ball to pretty much Casemiro, and Casemiro just played a first time pass to Bruno Fernandes. Another one where Casemiro puts an incredibly beautiful ball to Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes ends up, I believe, missing it. And I'm pretty sure it was another one, but I can't quite remember it. But I'm sure, but there was three different chances that Bruno Fernandes had to open the score. Casemiro also had his fair shot of opportunities, having three shots out of the box that were in a really good position to just go ahead and score those or get them at least on target, but he skied both of them. But at the end of the day, this is not just a Bruno Fernandes or Casemiro who's a CDM attack. Rashford wasn't able to score. Not only him, Ahmed wasn't able to score. Even Garnacho wasn't able to score. The attack just looked very, very off, extremely off. I mean, there was one opportunity near the end of the second half where Garnacho, where Rashford went through on goal, and he could have tried the shot or passed it to Garnacho. Decided to pass it to Garnacho. The pass was a bit off and was a bit behind Garnacho, but Garnacho just completely misses it with no goalie, no nothing, and it just shows how poor Manchester United can be in the attack. And the dying moments, Xerxes comes in to do his debut, and he ends up scoring but he ends up scoring. It was a pretty weird goal. He gets a tap into the ball after a cross from, I believe it was Garnacho, and he ends up scoring on his debut, saving Manchester United and allowing them to be first on the debut of the Premier League. Overall, Manchester United did not look bad at all. They looked very solid. They just got to finish. They just have to finish those chances. And Xerxes seems like he might be able to break into that starting 11. It's going to be a very competitive attack for Manchester United because Rashford or Garnacho or Hoyland when he's back can't afford to put up bad performances because they have a player that are incredibly good in the bench that can come in for them and start playing their position. As far as Casemiro goes, hopefully he's able to make a comeback and play like the Real Madrid Casemiro that we all know and love, so that he can give this Manchester United a chance to compete for a Champions League spot. The next game was Liverpool versus Ipswich, where Liverpool ended up winning 2-0 very comfortably, pretty similar to the Manchester United game. However, basically the first half, Ipswich was able to maintain the scoreline 0-0, level, which was very impressive. Liverpool were a bit inaccurate. And however, the second half, Liverpool came out and they came out guns blazing. They scored 2 goals, and Salah and Luis Diaz started missing sitters as well. They were not clinical this game. This game could have easily been 4-0. Easily been 4-0. Liverpool gave strong signs. This wasn't really a test. No offense to Ipswich, but this wasn't really a test for Liverpool. So we'll see what happens. Ipswich, on the other hand, actually looked pretty decent for a newly promoted side. They looked very solid. They could give a fight. Hopefully, they're able to make the Premier League relegation battle interesting, and hopefully, they're not even in the relegation battle because it's truly a Cinderella story that we are seeing them in the Premier League right now. Now, Arsenal versus Wolves. This game was, as I've said before, what the bigger team dominates completely the smaller team. Arsenal won 2-0 against Wolves. Um, Arsenal are really lacking an attacker because they didn't open the scoreline till like the 60th minute, or or maybe they had opened it before then. I don't really remember, but they just didn't generate that much. It took a Saka outside the box goal to score, solidifying once again that he's a world class winger, and he's projected to do what he has done in the previous 2 seasons with Arsenal, just trying to save them and be the main man in the attack. But other than that, I mean, Havertz scored a header, which was a pretty good goal. Um, Arsenal, as I said, dominated completely that game. So Arsenal looked like Arsenal. No surprise there. However, Wolves don't look nothing to write home about. They look like Wolves from last year. Nothing special. Now Mosquera actually played a pretty decent game against Arsenal. He was defending everywhere, and he got into a little scuffle with both Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. For Kai Havertz, Mosquera pretty much just choked the guy. He just choke slammed him. He just pretended that he fell, and oh, your neck is there, and just choked him. And with Gabriel Jesus was covering like a little free kick that was given, and Gabriel Jesus was tying his shoes. He was bent over, and Mosquera just grabs a hold of his ass and just tries to push him out the way, but through his ass. And Gabriel Jesus was not having it. He was so pissed. I mean, I don't blame Gabriel Jesus. Are you kidding me? If somebody grabbed my ass, there would probably be punches thrown, man. So, well, Mosquera had a pretty good game. Something of the more salvageable stuff from Wolves. Now we go on to one of the best games of the Premier League this weekend, which was Aston Villa versus West Ham. This was going to be a hell of a clash, considering that it was two teams that had made a bunch of signings, trying to make a push. One of them trying to make a push to stay in Champions League zone, and another one trying to make a push to reach that Champions League zone or Europa League zone. It was a really entertaining game. The first half, Aston Villa was they were just cooking. They were cooking West Ham, and they ended up scoring within 4 minutes. However, then West Ham got given a penalty, which I don't think it was a penalty. It was a crazy game, and it was pretty much back and forth after that penalty. Uh, Lucas Paqueta ends up converting that penalty, makes it 1-1, goes into the break with a 1-1 draw, both Aston Villa and West Ham. And then second half comes out, and they were both going at it completely. It was an incredibly entertaining game. They were just attacking and attacking, like it was just back and forth. At the end, Aston Villa ends up scoring a header, I believe, and wins the game 2-1. But very good sensations for both of the teams. You could say that Aston Villa should have won that more comfortably, but they were able to suffer, which is what a team needs to make it into the big, make themselves into a big team. You know, they have to suffer. They got to be able to suffer and withstand the attack of the other team, because at some point, West Ham looked really close to getting a second goal. At the end, Aston Villa was able to pull through, and kudos with West Ham actually played incredibly good against Aston Villa. Really promising, incredible from West Ham as well. They played very well without Edson Alvarez. I'm pretty sure they were missing another player on their end. Fulcro came for a couple minutes, but wasn't able to make a difference. They should have started him. They should have started him for West Ham. But I'm very excited for this West Ham team, especially when Edson Alvarez is back. Guido Rodriguez was not a bad player against Aston Villa. Honestly, really, really good performance with both of them by both sides. Now Chelsea City. Now this was the biggest game in terms of names that was going to be dropped by the Premier League. City ended up winning 2-0. No surprise there. However, what surprising was the way that Chelsea played, because Chelsea, you can say the scoreline, you can say, oh, it was another game like the Arsenal Wolves or Manchester United Fulham, but it was nowhere near that. It was actually a very competitive game. Chelsea played pretty decently. They created some chances, but they weren't able to score. It ended up coming from a really good turn from Erling Haaland. Cucurella was not able to stop him. Sadly, he was just not able to stop him. But Cucurella and the attack didn't play really bad, to say so. It also came from a Kovacic wonder goal from outside the box against his old team. So overall, Chelsea didn't play bad against Manchester City. However, are they gonna continue? Are they gonna continue playing decently? Where are they gonna end up? It's a very, very bipolar team. There's no way to predict how they're gonna end, but it's gonna be an interest, especially now with Joan Felix joining the side. I don't even know what's going on in that club. It's a shit show, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens later on in the season. And the last game that I watched for the Premier League was this Monday, which was Tottenham versus Leicester. Unfortunately, I was between the Atletico Madrid and Villarreal game, so I wasn't able to see the complete 90 minutes. Tottenham started off with a header goal from Pedro Porro, the right back. He played a very good game against Leicester. He just came out of nowhere and just stroked the ball. And for a moment, it looked like it was gonna be another game like the Fulham United or the Wolves versus the Wolves versus Arsenal. But out of nowhere, Jamie Vardy, the Red Bull sponsored guy. He's not even sponsored, but he drinks Red Bulls like he's just a different beast. He just comes out of nowhere and ends up scoring. And actually, at some point, it even looked like Jamie Vardy was gonna score another goal. He was a one-on-one against the goalkeeper. He surprisingly missed it, so Tottenham were saved there. But Jamie Vardy, I mean, this guy is 37 and doing performances like that. But anyways, it was a very entertaining game. As I said, I wasn't able to see the full 90 minutes, so I'm not able to give the full detailing of what happened. But it was a good game. It was a good game. It's not good for Tottenham, which start off with a draw, but it starts off good for Leicester, who do want to make a push to stay in the Premier League. Now we go over to La Liga, where I wasn't able to see complete. I saw like a couple goals from Barcelona versus Valencia. Valencia started off winning on the dying moments of the first half. Barcelona comes back with a goal from, I don't even know who scored. I think it was Lewandowski. Then it looked like there was a disallowed goal by Valencia, which, fair enough, he was like kind of offside or something. I don't know. There was a disallowed goal, and then I completely missed the second goal that Barcelona scored with which was a penalty. Barcelona end up winning against Valencia. I guess well deserved. But what I did see was that Lamine Yamal actually played a pretty decent game. I saw it on TikToks. He put in the assist for the first Barcelona goal with Lewandowski, and overall he was playing a pretty good game. it's good that he's actually playing very well after what happened with his father and everything. Hopefully, it's all good for them. But Barcelona got the job done. A team that was not able to get the job done was Real Madrid. Yeah, my beloved team actually came out and drew against Mallorca, a side that was fighting relegation last season. It was a weird game. I'll make another video more going more into depth of what happened in that game and what I've noticed. But it just looked like these guys started off very well in the first half. They played everything they could play. They were energetic. They just Vinicius couldn't get stopped at all. Down on that left wing side, he played incredible that first half. And Mbappe was the only player that just wasn't able to shine. Rodrigo was able to score a very good goal from from just like a half turn. It was a very strange but very pleasant goal to watch. But in the end, Mallorca was able to get back into the match because of a wonder header, a really good header that Rudiger wasn't able to be there down in the second half. They ended up 1-1, and we started off rough. Because I do expect the team with the best attack in the world to win, not only win, but demolish Mallorca. I don't care if they're tired. I don't care if they're this or that. I do expect them to win. But in the end of the day, I mean, these guys, you could tell that it wasn't that they weren't trying or that they thought it was a weaker team. They were just tired. They just couldn't run anymore. It was the weirdest thing that I had seen. That's why it was very surprising that Ancelotti ended up taking out most of the players till the 81st minute. Well, the 81st till the 87th minute, because the 81st they were ready. But at the 81st minute was when he was like, "Oh, these players are tired. Let me take them out." I think they should have taken them out way earlier, like in the 60th, 70th minute, get some fresh legs in, because they were just destroyed. And also, one thing that we did learn is that Chouameni is a very, very crucial player that we can't take out. We just can't, because he connects the midfield with the attack. Because we saw how Bellingham and Valverde they're box to box, and this game on top of that they weren't able to come back because they were tired. But they tried to, but they weren't able to because there was no Chouameni. So it was we saw how Mallorca had multiple chances where all they did was run into the end line, and since the back line was so straight, it was a back four. I mean, they just gave the pass back, and there was an empty guy ready to shoot. So Real Madrid just looked very shaky. We also need center backs, and not only that, we Mojica just had a field day against us. Mojica had an incredible game against us, as well as it was Mojica, right? As well as Kyle Laren. Kyle Laren had a great game against us as well. And Mallorca gave it their all. They were ready to play against the best team and the biggest team in the world, and they showed and they proved it. And they ended up tying us, getting a very valuable 1 point against the reigning champions of La Liga and the Champions League. Now, the last game that I was able to watch was the Villarreal versus Atletico Madrid. Let's go ahead and start. It was a crap game. Like, there was 2 goals. It was 2-2, but it was a crap game. Both teams could not form a pass. I mean, I got flashbacks to the Peru versus Chile Copa America match where it was just a bunch of boom ball. But this was a bit better since there wasn't. Actually, it was a bit worse because there wasn't a bunch of kicks and brawls. Makes it a bit less interesting. Like, if y'all not gonna formulate 3 passes, at least fight or something. But yeah, it was a very poor game. Uh, Villarreal was Atletico Madrid had to come back twice. Sorloth, the new signing, ends up scoring on his debut against his old team. Once again, proving that he's able to do it, because there's a lot of people that were questioning, like, should Sorloth even start at this Atletico Madrid over Julian Alvarez? And I say start both, because Sorloth is an incredibly good striker, and I feel like a lot of people keep sleeping on him, because if I was a team like Chelsea who need a striker, I would 100% buy Sorloth. Are you kidding me? He's an incredibly lethal striker. I mean, he can't create opportunities on his own, right? He's a traditional number 9 that needs a ball to come in, but if you send him a ball in, he's gonna score, like we just saw. So, and Julian Alvarez started on the bench. He came in like around the 70th minute. He wasn't able to do much as well. It was overall a poor game for both teams. It's not starting off well for Atletico de Madrid or Villarreal for that sake, but we'll see how that will end up. All right, guys, that was it for the games that I was able to watch this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find Serie A games. I saw on OneFootball and it said it was gonna be on the TV guide, but I could not find it on CBS. I wanted to watch the Inter versus Girona game. I mean, not Genoa game, and I wasn't able to watch that game. But I'll try my best to see if, hopefully, because I did see that there was a channel that was playing Serie A games, but at the same time it was going on the Tottenham versus Villarreal game, so I wasn't able to watch it at all. So hopefully next weekend I'm able to watch Serie A, because it looks like a really interesting league with all of the speedy wingers that they have now, because they have Kvaratskhelia, they have Pulisic, they have Pulisic, they have Rafael Leao, they have this incredible attacks now. So we'll see next weekend. I'll come back with another weekend recap of what I saw, and I'll also, as I said, I'll make another video explaining about what I saw in the Real Madrid versus Mallorca games. So if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. Yeah, guys, have a great day. See y'all soon.